A U.S. State Government College Money Guide. Chapter 1. State College Money Info. State Financial Aid. ed.gov/about/contacts/state/index.html, States Department of Education for specifics. State loans are generally unsubsidized. Expect to pay interest while you are still in school. State financial aid for college. The State Grant Agency provides information on grants, scholarships, and other financial aid for college students who live in the state, including federally supported state programs such as Bird Scholarships and LEAP, Leveraging Educational Assistance Partnership, grants. For information about state financial aid and colleges and universities in specific states, contact the agencies listed below. They can provide you with other contacts in the state for more information. Request info for both loan and scholarship/grant programs. ed.gov/programs/rod/org_list.cfm ?category_ID=she. chinook.com/stateinfo.html, State Financial Aid Offices. Alabama State Financial Aid Assistance. Alabama Commission on Higher Education. Office of Student Assistance. epub 302,000. Montgomery, Alabama 36130-2000. 334-242-2273. Fax 334-242-2269. aig.alabama.gov. aig.alabama.gov/studentassistance/index.htm. Alaska State Financial Aid Assistance. Alaska Commission on Post-Secondary Education. epub 110,505. Juneau, Alaska 99811-0505. 907-465-2962. 800-441-2962. Fax 907-465-5316. TTY 907-465-3143. Customer_service@acpe.state.ak.us. alaskaadvantage.state.ak.us. Arizona State Financial Aid Assistance. Arizona Commission for Post-Secondary Education. Number 650. 2020 North Central Avenue. Phoenix, Arizona 85004. 602-258-2435. Fax 602-258-2483. azhired.gov. Arkansas State Financial Aid Assistance. Arkansas Department of Higher Education. 114 East Capitol Avenue. Little Rock, Arkansas 72201. 501-371-2050. 800-547-8839. Fax 501-371-2001. adhe.edu/pages/home.aspx. California State Financial Aid Assistance. California Student Aid Commission. epub 419,026. Rancho Cordova, California 95741-9026. 916-526-7590. 888-224-7268. Fax 916-526-8002. Student support at csac.ca.gov. csac.ca.gov. Colorado State Financial Aid Assistance. Colorado Department of Higher Education. Number 16. 1560 Broadway. Denver, Colorado 80202. 303-866-2723. Fax 303-866-4266. Executive Director at dhe.state.co.us. hired.colorado.gov. Connecticut State Financial Aid Assistance. Connecticut Department of Higher Education. 61 Woodland Street. Hartford, Connecticut 06105-2326. 800-947-1855. 800-842-0229. Fax, 860-947-1311. ctdhe.org. Delaware State Financial Aid Assistance. Delaware Higher Education Commission. Carville State Office Building. 820 North French Street 5F. Wilmington, Delaware 19801. 302-577-5240. 800-292-7935. Outside Newcastle County. Fax, 302-577-6765. doe.k12.de.us/dhec. District of Columbia State Financial Aid Assistance. Office of the State Superintendent of Education, District of Columbia. State Board of Education. Number 350 North. 441 4th Street NW. Washington, D.C. 20001. 202-727-6436. Fax, 202-727-7656. TTY, 202-727-1675. OSSE@dc.gov. SBOE@dc.gov. SEO.dc.gov/SEO/site/default.asp. Florida State Financial Aid Assistance. Office of Student Financial Assistance, Florida. State Department of Education. Number 70. 1940 North Monroe Street. Tallahassee, Florida 32303-4759. 850-410-5160. 888-827-2004. Fax, 850-487-1809. OSFA@fldoe.org. fldoe.org. Florida Student Financial Aid.org. Georgia State Financial Aid Assistance. Georgia Student Finance Commission. 2082 East Exchange Place. Tucker, Georgia 30084. 770-724-9022. 800-505-4732. Fax, 770-724-9004. gsfc.org. Hawaii State Financial Aid Assistance. No records found. Idaho State Financial Aid Assistance. Idaho State Board of Education. POB 83720. Boise, Idaho 83720-0037. 208-332-1574. Fax, 208-334-2632. osbe.idaho.gov. boardof.idaho.gov/scholarships/index.asp. Illinois State Financial Aid Assistance. Illinois Student Assistance Commission. 1755 Lake Cook Road. Deerfield, Illinois 60015-5209. 847-831-8500. 800-899-4722. TTY, 800-526-0844. collegezone@isaac.org. isaac.org. collegezone.com. Indiana State Financial Aid Assistance. State Student Assistance Commission of Indiana. Number 500. 150 West Market Street. Indianapolis, Indiana 46204. 317-232-2350. 888-528-4719. Fax, 317-232-3260. grants@ssaci.in.gov. in.gov/ssaci. Iowa State Financial Aid Assistance. Iowa College Student Aid Commission. 4th floor. 200 10th Street. Des Moines, Iowa 50309-3609. 515-725-3400. 800-383-4222. Fax, 515-725-3401. info@iowacollegeaid.org. iowacollegeaid.org. Kansas State Financial Aid Assistance. Kansas Board of Regents, the number 520. 1000 Southwest Jackson Street, Topeka, Kansas 66612-1368. 785-296-3421. Fax, 785-296-0983. ksbor.org. kansasregents.org/financial_aid/index.html. Kentucky State Financial Aid Assistance. Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority. epub 798. Frankfort, Kentucky 40602-0798. 502-696-7200. 800-928-8926. Fax, 502-696-7373. grants@kiaa.com. kiaa.com. States served: Alabama, Kentucky. Louisiana State Financial Aid Assistance. Louisiana Office of Student Financial Assistance. epub 91202. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70821-9202. 225-922-1012. 800-259-5626, extension 1012. Fax, 225-925-4969. osfa.la.gov. osfa.state.la.us. Maine State Financial Aid Assistance. Finance Authority of Maine. epub 949. 5 Community Drive, Augusta, Maine 04332-0949. 207-623-3263. 800-228-3734. Fax, 207-623-0095. TTY, 207-626-2717. Education@famemaine.com. info@famemaine.com. famemaine.com. Maryland State Financial Aid Assistance. Maryland Higher Education Commission. Office of Student Financial Assistance. Number 400. 839 Bestgate Road, Annapolis, Maryland 21401. 410-260-4501. 800-974-0203. Fax, 410-260-3200. TTY, 800-735-2258. osfemail@mhec.state.md.us. mhec.state.md.us. mhec.state.md.us/financialaid/index.asp. Massachusetts State Financial Aid Assistance. Office of Student Financial Assistance, Massachusetts. State Department of Higher Education. Number 200. 454 Broadway, Revere, Massachusetts 02151. 617-727-9420, extension 1313. Fax, 617-727-0667. osfa.mass.edu. Michigan State Financial Aid Assistance. Michigan Higher Education Assistance Authority. Office of Scholarships and Grants. epub 30462. Lansing, Michigan 48909-7962. 888-447-2687. Fax, 517-241-5835. osg@michigan.gov. michigan.gov/osg. Minnesota State Financial Aid Assistance. Minnesota Office of Higher Education. Number 350. 1450 Energy Park Drive, St. Paul, Minnesota 55108-5227. 651-642-0567. 800-657-3866. Fax, 651-642-0675. TTY, 800-627-3529. ohe.state.mn.us/index.cfm. Mississippi State Financial Aid Assistance. Mississippi Office of Student Financial Aid. 3825 Ridgewood Road, Jackson, Mississippi 39211-6453. 601-432-6997. 800-327-2980. Fax, 601-432-6527. sfa@ihl.state.ms.us. Mississippi.edu/financial aid. Missouri State Financial Aid Assistance. Office of Student Financial Assistance, Missouri. State Department of Higher Education. 3515 Amazonas Drive, Jefferson City, Missouri 65109. 573-751-2361. 800-473-6757. Fax, 573-751-6635. info@dhe.mo.gov. dhe.mo.gov. Montana State Financial Aid Assistance. Montana Guaranteed Student Loan Program. POG 203101. Helena, Montana 59620-3101. 406-444-6594. 800-537-7508. Fax, 406-444-1869. mgslp.state.mt.us. mgslp.org. Nebraska State Financial Aid Assistance. Coordinating Commission for Post-Secondary Education, Nebraska. POG 95005. Number 300. 140 North 8th Street. Lincoln, Nebraska 68509-5005. 402-471-2847. Fax, 402-471-2886. ccpe.ne.gov. ccpe.state.ne.us/public.doc/ccpe/default.asp. Nevada State Financial Aid Assistance. Nevada Commission on Post-Secondary Education. Number 120. 3663 East Sunset Road, Las Vegas, Nevada 89120. 702-486-7330. Fax, 702-486-7340. cpe.state.nv.us. New Hampshire State Financial Aid Assistance. New Hampshire Post-Secondary Education Commission. Number 300. 3 Barrel Court, Concord, New Hampshire 03301-8543. 603-271-2555. Fax, 603-271-2696. TTY, 800-735-2964. pedace@pec.state.nh.us. state.nh.us/postsecondary. New Jersey State Financial Aid Assistance. New Jersey Higher Education Student Assistance Authority. POG 540. Trenton, New Jersey 08625. 609-584-4486. 800-792-8670. Fax, 609-588-7389. HESAA.org. New Mexico State Financial Aid Assistance. New Mexico Higher Education Department. 1068 Cerrillos Road, Santa Fe, New Mexico 87501-1650. 505-476-6500. 800-279-9777. Fax, 505-476-6511. fin.hed.state.nm.us. New York State Financial Aid Assistance. Higher Education Services Corporation, New York State. 99 Washington Avenue, Albany, New York 12255. 518-473-1574. 888-697-4372. TTY 800-445-5234. HESC.org. HESC.com/bulletin.nsf. North Carolina State Financial Aid Assistance. North Carolina State Education Assistance Authority. POB 13663. Research Triangle Park, North Carolina 27709. 919-549-8614. 866-866-2362. Fax 919-549-8481. ncscaa.edu. cfnc.org. North Dakota State Financial Aid Assistance. University System, North Dakota. 10th floor, State Capitol. Department 215. 600 East Boulevard Avenue. Bismarck, North Dakota 58505-0230. 701-328-2960. Fax 701-328-2961. ndus.office@ndus.nodac.edu. ndus.nodac.edu. Ohio State Financial Aid Assistance. Ohio Board of Regents. State Grants and Scholarships. 36th floor. 30 East Broad Street. Columbus, Ohio 43215. 614-466-7420. 888-833-1133. Fax 614-752-5903. Regents@regents.state.o.us. cfaust@regents.state.o.us. regents.ohio.gov. Oklahoma State Financial Aid Assistance. Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education. Number 200. 655 Research Parkway. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73104. 405-225-9100. Fax 405-225-9230. studentinfo@osrhe.edu. okhired.org. Oregon State Financial Aid Assistance. Oregon Student Assistance Commission. Number 100. 1500 Valley River Drive. Eugene, Oregon 97401. 541-687-7400. 800-452-8807. Fax 541-687-7414. awardinfo@mercury.osac.state.or.us. oregon.gov/osac/index.html. Pennsylvania State Financial Aid Assistance. Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency. State Grants and Special Programs. 1200 North 7th Street. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17102-1444. 717-720-2800. 800-692-7392. Fax 717-720-3914. TTY 800-654-5988. Grant help at pheaa.org. pheaa.org. Rhode Island State Financial Aid Assistance. Rhode Island Higher Education Assistance Authority. 560 Jefferson Boulevard. Warwick, Rhode Island 02886. 401-736-1100. 800-922-9855. Fax 401-736-1178. TTY 401-734-9481. grants@riheaa.org. info@riheaa.org. riheaa.org. South Carolina State Financial Aid Assistance. South Carolina Higher Education Tuition Grants Commission. Number 2100. 101, Business Park Boulevard, Columbia, South Carolina 29203-9498. 803-896-1120. Fax, 803-896-1126. Info at sctuitiongrants.org. sctuitiongrants.com. South Dakota State Financial Aid Assistance. Office of Finance and Management, South Dakota. State Department of Education. 700 Governors Drive, Pierre, South Dakota 57501. 605-773-3248. Fax, 605-773-6139. doe.sd.gov. Tennessee State Financial Aid Assistance. Tennessee Student Assistance Corporation. Number 1510, Parkway Towers. 404 James Robertson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee 37243-0820. 615-741-1346. 800-342-1663. Fax, 615-741-6101. State.tn.us. tn.gov/collegepays/index.html. Texas State Financial Aid Assistance. Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. POG 12788. Austin, Texas 78711-2788. 512-427-6101. 800-242-3062. Fax, 512-427-6127. Grant info at thecb.state.tx.us. thecb.state.tx.us. Utah State Financial Aid Assistance. Utah Higher Education Assistance Authority, UHEAA. Board of Regents Building, The Gateway. 60 South 400 West. Salt Lake City, Utah 84101-1284. 801-321-7200. 800-418-8757. Fax, 801-336-8470. TTY, 801-321-7168. UHEAA at utahsbr.edu. utahsbr.edu. uheaa.org. Vermont State Financial Aid Assistance. Vermont Student Assistance Corporation. POG 2000. 10 East Allen Street, Winooski, Vermont 05404. 802-655-9602. 800-642-3177. Fax, 802-654-3765. TTY, 802-654-3766. Info at vsac.org. vsac.org. Virginia State Financial Aid Assistance. State Council of Higher Education for Virginia. James Monroe Building, 10th floor. 101 North 14th Street. Richmond, Virginia 23219. 804-225-2600. Fax, 804-225-2604. schev.edu. Washington State Financial Aid Assistance. Higher Education Coordinating Board, Washington. 917 Lake Ridge Way Southwest. POG 43430. Olympia, Washington 98504-3430. 360-753-7800. Fax, 360-753-7808. Info at hecb.wa.gov. hecb.wa.gov. West Virginia State Financial Aid Assistance. West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission. Number 700. 1018 Kanawha Boulevard East, Charleston, West Virginia 25301-2800, 304-558-4614. Fax 304-558-5719. Samples at hepc.wvnet.edu. wvhepcnew.wvnet.edu. Wisconsin State Financial Aid Assistance. Wisconsin Higher Educational Aids Board. epub 7885. Madison, Wisconsin 53707-7885. 608-267-2206. Fax 608-267-2808. Hebe mail at wisconsin.gov. hebe.state.wi.us. Wyoming State Financial Aid Assistance. No records found. Find your State Department of Higher Education. wdcrobc01.ed.gov/program/arod/list.cfm?category_id=she, US of Education, State Higher Education Agency list. Click onto your state to get the State Department of Higher Education where you apply for college money. wdcrobc01.ed.gov/program/arod/category_cd:*sgt, State Student Aid Offices. State Higher Education websites. Type State Higher Education Department and name of the state into any search engine. State Higher Education Commissions. State Higher Education Agencies. ed.gov/program/bastmp/shay.hdm. ake.state.al.us, Alabama. state.ak.us/acpe, Alaska. arkansashired.com, Arkansas. arkansashired.com, Arizona. cpec.ca.gov, California. state.co.us/cche_dir/heckshay.html, Colorado. ctde.org, Connecticut. doe.state.de.us/hi-ed, Delaware. separi.state.fl.us, Florida. usg.edu, Georgia. hawaii.edu, Hawaii. sde.state.id.us/osbe/board.htm, Idaho. ibe.state.il.us, Illinois. che.state.in.us, Indiana. state.ia.us/regents, Iowa. kansasregents.org, Kansas. cpe.state.ky.us, Kentucky. regents.state.la.us, Louisiana. maine.edu, Maine. mhec.state.md.us, Maryland. mass.edu, Massachusetts. mde.state.mi.us, Michigan. mheso.state.mn.us, Minnesota. ihl.state.ms.us, Mississippi. cbe.state.mo.us, Missouri. montana.edu/muse, Montana. ccpe.state.ne.us, Nebraska. nevada.edu, Nevada. state.nh.us/postsecondary, New Hampshire. state.nj.us/higher education, New Jersey. nmche.org, New Mexico. hired.nicd.gov, New York. northcarolina.edu, North Carolina. ndus.nodac.edu, North Dakota. regents.state.oh.us/flash_index.html, Ohio. okhired.org, Oklahoma. ous.edu, Oregon. schichan.edu, Pennsylvania. ribjihi.org/riohi.htm, Rhode Island. che400.state.sc.us, South Carolina. ris.sdbor.edu, South Dakota. State.tn.us/the Tennessee. The cb.state.tx.us, Texas. utahsbr.edu, Utah. vsc.edu, Vermont. schev.edu, Virginia. hecb.wa.gov, Washington. hepc.wvnet.edu, West Virginia. uwsa.edu, Wisconsin. uwyo.edu, Wyoming. State Higher Education Offices. Alabama. Commission on Higher Education. 100 North Union St. Montgomery, Alabama 36130. 800-960-7773. 334-242-1998. Fax 334-281-6711. ake.state.al.us. Alaska. Alaska Post-Secondary Education Commission. POB 110505. 3030 Vintage Boulevard. Juneau, Alaska 99801-7109. 800-441-2962. 907-465-2962. Fax 907-465-5316. state.ak.us/ACPE. University of Alaska System. 202 Buttrovic Building. Fairbanks, Alaska 99775-5560. 907-474-7311. Fax 474-7570. Arizona. Arizona Commission for Post-Secondary Education. 2020 North Central. Number 230. Phoenix, Arizona 85004. 602-229-2500. 602-258-2435. Fax 229-2555. 800-252-5793. acp.asu.edu. Arkansas. Department of Higher Education. 114 East Capitol. Little Rock, Arkansas 72201. 800-54 Study. 501-324-9300. 501-371-2000. Fax 324-9308. arscholarships.edu. California. California Post-Secondary Education Commission. 1303 J Street, 5th floor. Sacramento, California 95814-2983. 888-224-7268. 916-445-7933. Fax 327-4417. csac.ca.gov. Colorado. Commission on Higher Education. 1300 Broadway, 2nd floor. Denver, Colorado 80203. 303-866-4034. 303-866-2723. Fax 860-9750. state.co.us/cche_dir/heckshay.html. Connecticut. Department of Higher Education. 61 Woodland Street. Hartford, Connecticut 06105. 800-842-0229. 860-566-5766. Fax 860-566-7865. ctdhe.commnet.edu/dheweb/toc.htm. Delaware. Delaware Higher Education Commission. 820 French Street. Wilmington, Delaware 19801. 800-292-7935. 302-577-3240. Fax 577-3862. state.de.us/hi-ed/index.hdm. District of Columbia. Office of Post-Secondary Education Research and Assistance. 2100 ml King Jr. Avenue. Number 401. Washington, D.C. 20020-5732. 877-485-6751. 202-727-3685. 1030 15th St. North. Number 1000. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-289-4500. Florida. Post-Secondary Education Planning Commission. 124 Collins Building. Tallahassee, Florida 32399. 850-488-7894. Fax, 850-922-5388. 888-827-2004. fern.edu/DOE. Office of Student Financial Assistance. Florida Department of Education. Florida Education Center. Number 1344. Tallahassee, Florida 32399-0400. 904-488-1034. Georgia. Board of Regents. University System of Georgia. 244 Washington Street, SW. Atlanta, Georgia 30334. 800-505-4732. 404-656-2204. Fax, 651-9301. Georgia Student Finance Commission. 2082 East Exchange Place. Number 200. Tucker, Georgia 30084. 800-776-6878. 770-493-5402. Fax, 770-724-9089. gsfc.org. Hawaii. Hawaii Post-Secondary Education Commission. University of Hawaii System. 2444 Dole Street. 209 Bachman Hall. Honolulu, Hawaii 96822-2394. 808-956-8213. Fax, 808-956-5156. Idaho. State Board of Education. 650 West State Street. Number 307. Boise, Idaho 83720. 208-334-2270. Fax, 334-2632. sde.state.id.us/osbe/board.htm. Illinois. Board of Higher Education. 500 Rolsch Building. 4 West Old Capitol Square. Springfield, Illinois 62701. 800-899-4722. 217-782-2551. Fax, 782-8548. Illinois Student Assistance Commission. Executive Offices. 1755 Lake Cook Road. Deerfield, Illinois 60015-5209. 800-899 Isaac. 847-948-8550. Fax, 847-831-8549. isac-online.org. Indiana. Commission for Higher Education. 101 West Ohio Street. Number 550. Indianapolis, Indiana 46204-1909. 888-528-4719. 317-232-1900. Fax, 232-1899. State Student Assistance Commission of Indiana. 150 West Market St. Number 500. Indianapolis, Indiana 46204-2811. 888-528-4719. 317-232-2350. Fax, 317-232-3260. ai.org.cc. Iowa State Board of Regents. Old State Historical Building. East 12th Grand. Des Moines, Iowa 50319. 800-383-4222. 515-281-3934. Fax, 281-6420. Iowa College Student Aid Commission. 200 10th St. Des Moines, Iowa 50309-3609. 515-281-3501. Fax, 515-242-5996. state.ia.us/collegeaid. Kansas. Kansas Board of Regents. 700 Southwest Harrison St. Number 1410. Topeka, Kansas 66603-3760. 785-296-3421. Fax, 785-296-0983. ku.edu/KBOR. Kentucky. Council on Higher Education. W. Frankfort Office Complex. 1050 US 127 South. Frankfort, Kentucky 40601. 800-928-8926. 502-564-3553. Fax, 564-2063. Kentucky Higher Education Assistance Authority. 1050 US 127 South. Suite 102. Frankfort, Kentucky 40601-4323. 800-928-8926. 502-696-7200. Fax, 502-696-7345. kaa.state.ky.us. Louisiana. Board of Regents. 150 Riverside Mall. Number 129. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70801-1303. 504-342-4253. Fax, 342-9318. Office of Student Financial Assistance, Louisiana Student Financial Assistance Commission. POB 91202. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70821-9202. 800-259-5626. 225-922-1012. Fax, 225-922-1089. osfa.state.la.us. Maine. University of Maine System. 107 Main Avenue. Bangor, Maine 04401-1805. 207-947-0336. Fax, 947-0336x293. Financial Authority of Maine. Maine Education Assistance Division. 1 Weston Court. State House, Station 119. Augusta, Maine 04333. 800-228-3734. 207-626-8200. Fax, 207-626-8208. FameMaine.com. Maryland Secretary of Higher Education. Maryland Higher Education Commission. 16 Francis Street. Annapolis, Maryland 21401-1781. 800-974-1024. 410-974-5370. Fax, 410-974-5376. mhec.state.md.us. Massachusetts. Higher Education Coordinating Council. 1 Ashburton Place. Number 1401. Boston, Massachusetts 02108-1530, 617-727-7785. Fax 727-6397. Massachusetts Office of Student Financial Assistance, 330 Stewart Street, number 304, Boston, Massachusetts 02116-5292, 617-994-6950, 617-727-9420. Fax 617-727-0667. osfa.mass.edu. Michigan. Associate Superintendent for Post-Secondary Education. POB 30008. Lansing, Michigan 48909. 517-335-4933. Fax 335-4565. Michigan Higher Education Assistance Authority. POB 30462. Lansing, Michigan 48909-7962. 888-4 grants. 888-447-2687. 517-373-3394. Fax 517-335-5984. Minnesota. Higher Education Services Office. 1450 Energy Park Drive, number 350. St. Paul, Minnesota 55108-5227. 800-657-3866. 651-642-0567. Fax 651-642-0675. mheso.state.mn.us. Mississippi. Office of State Student Financial Aid. 3825 Ridgewood Road, Jackson, Mississippi 39221-6453. 800-327-2980. 601-982-6663. Fax 601-987-4172. sfa@ihl.state.ms.us. ihl.state.ms.us. Missouri. Commissioner of Higher Education. 3515 Amazonas Drive, Jefferson City, Missouri 65109. 800-473-6757. 573-751-3940. Fax 573-751-6635. mockbehe.gov. Montana. Commissioner of Higher Education. 2500 Broadway, Helena, Montana 59620-3101. 800-537-7508. 406-444-6570. 406-444-6594. Fax 444-1869. mgslp.state.mt.us. Nebraska. Coordinating Commission for Post-Secondary Education. 140 North 8th St. Number 300. POB 95005. Lincoln, Nebraska 68509-5005. 402-471-2847. Fax 471-2886. nol.org/any post-secondary. Nevada. University of Nevada System. 2601 Enterprise Road, Reno, Nevada 89512. 775-687-9200. 702-784-4905. Fax 784-1127. Nevada Department of Education. 700 East 5th St. Carson City, Nevada 89701. 702-687-5915. New Hampshire. New Hampshire Post-Secondary Education Commission. 2 Industrial Park Drive, Number 7. Concord, New Hampshire 03301-8524. 603-271-2555. Fax, 603-271-2696. University System of New Hampshire. Dunlap Center. Durham, New Hampshire 03824-3563. 603-868-1800. Fax, 868-2756. New Jersey. New Jersey Department of Higher Education. Office of Student Assistance. 20 West State St. 4 Quaker Bridge Plaza CN 540. Trenton, New Jersey 08625-0540. 800-792-8670. 609-292-4310. Fax, 609-292-7225. HeesAA.org. New Mexico. Commission on Higher Education. 1068 Cerrillos Road. POG 15910. Santa Fe, New Mexico 87506-5910. 800-279-9777. 505-827-7383. Fax, 827-7392. nmche.org. New York. Commissioner for Higher and Continuing Education. Room 5B28 Cultural Education Center. New York State Education Department. Albany, New York 12230. 518-474-5851. Fax, 486-2175. The New York State Higher Education Services Corporation. 99 Washington Avenue. Albany, New York 12255. 888-697-4372. 800-642-6234. 518-473-1688. HeesC.state.ny.us. North Carolina. Vice President for Planning. University of North Carolina. General Administration. 910 Raleigh. POG 2688. Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27515-2688. 866-866-2362. 919-962-6981. Fax, 962-0488. North Carolina State Education Assistance Authority. POG 2688. Chapel Hill, North Carolina 27515-2688. 800-544-1644, Federal. 919-549-8614. Fax, 919-549-8481. College Foundation, Inc. 2100 Yonkers Road. Raleigh, North Carolina 27604. 919-821-4771. North Dakota. North Dakota University System. State Capitol Building. 10th FL. Bismarck, North Dakota 58505-0230. 701-328-4114. Fax, 701-328-2961. MyStudentLoanOnline.com, Student Loans of North Dakota. MyStudentLoanOnline.nd.gov. Ohio. Ohio Board of Regents. 30 East Broad Street, 36th floor. POG 182452. Columbus, Ohio 43218-2452. 888-833-1133. 614-466-7420. Fax, 614-752-5903. bor.ohio.gov. Oklahoma. State Regents for Higher Education. 500 Education Building. State Capitol Complex. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73105-4503. 800-858-1840. 405-524-9100. Fax 524-9230. studentinfor@osrhe.edu. okhired.org. osrhe.edu. Oregon State System of Higher Education. 1263 U of Oregon. epub 3175. Eugene, Oregon 97403-1075. 503-346-5700. Fax 346-5764. Oregon Student Assistance Commission. 1500 Valley River Drive. Number 100. Eugene, Oregon 97401-2130. 800-452-8807. 541-687-7400. Fax 541-687-7419. osac.state.or.us, Oregon Student Assistance Commission. osac.state.or.us/osac_programs.html, Oregon Student Assistance Commission. Pennsylvania Commissioner for Higher Education. State Department of Education. 333 Market Street, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17126. 717-787-5041. Fax 783-5420. 800-692-7435. Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency. 1200 North 7th St. epub 8114. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17105-8114. 800-692-7435. 717-720-3600. pheaa.org. Puerto Rico Council on Higher Education. Box 23305, UPR Station. San Juan, Puerto Rico 00931. 787-724-7100. 787-758-3350. Fax 787-763-6760. de.gobierno.pr. Rhode Island Office of Higher Education. 301 Promenade Street, Providence, Rhode Island 02908. 401-277-6560. Fax 277-6111. ridoe.net. Rhode Island Higher Education Assistance Authority. 560 Jefferson Boulevard, Warwick, Rhode Island 02886. 800-922-9855. 401-736-1100. Fax 401-736-3541. South Carolina Commission on Higher Education. 1333 Main Street, Number 200. Columbia, South Carolina 29201. 803-737-2260. Fax 737-2297. che400.state.sc.us. South Carolina Higher Education Tuition Grants Commission. 1310 Lady Street, epub 12159. Columbia, South Carolina 29211. 877-349-7183. 803-734-1200. South Dakota Board of Regents. 306 East Capitol Avenue, Number 200. Pierre, South Dakota 57501-3159. 605-773-3455. Fax 773-5320. ris.sdb.or.edu. Department of Education and Cultural Affairs. 700 Governors Drive, Pierre, South Dakota 57501-2291. 605-773-3134. State.sd.us/DECA. Tennessee. Tennessee Higher Education Commission. 404 James Robertson Parkway, Parkway Towers. Number 1900. Nashville, Tennessee 37219-5380. 615-741-7562. Fax, 741-6230. State.tn.us/education. Tennessee Student Assistance Corporation. Parkway Towers. Number 1950. 404 James Robertson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee 37243-0820. 800-342-1663. 615-741-3605. 615-741-1346. Fax, 615-741-6101. State.tn.us/TSAC. Texas. Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. 7715 Chevy Chase Drive, POG 12788, Capitol Station. Austin, Texas 78711-2788. 800-242-3062. 512-427-6340. Fax, 512-427-6420. thecb.state.tx.us. Utah. Utah System of Higher Education. 355 West North Temple. 3. Triad Center. Number 550. POG 145101. Salt Lake City, Utah 84114-5101. 801-321-7100. Fax, 801-321-7199. utahsbr.edu. Vermont. Vermont Student Assistance Corporation. POG 2000, Champlain Mill. Winooski, Vermont 05404-2601. 800-642-3177. 802-655-9602. Fax, 802-654-3765. vsac.org. Vermont State Colleges. POG 359. Waterbury, Vermont 05676. 802-241-2520. Fax, 244-1746. President. University of Vermont. 85 South Prospect Street, Burlington, Vermont 05401. 802-656-3186. Fax, 656-8432. Virginia. State Council of Higher Education. 101 North 14th Street, Richmond, Virginia 23219-3659. 804-225-2137. 804-225-2600. Fax, 804-225-2604. schev.edu. Washington. Higher Education Coordinating Board. 917 Lakeridge Way, POG 43430. Olympia, Washington 98504-3430. 888-535-0747. 360-753-7850. Fax, 360-753-7808. hecb.wa.gov. West Virginia. State College System of West Virginia. 1018 Kanawha Boulevard East. Number 700. Charleston, West Virginia 25301-2827. 5707. 304-558-2101. 304-558-4618. Fax, 304-558-4822. escusco.wvnet.edu. University of West Virginia System. 1018 Kanawha Boulevard East. Number 700. Charleston, West Virginia 25301. 304-558-2736. Fax, 558-3264. Wisconsin. Higher Educational Aid Board. Number 902. 131 Wilson St. epub 7885. Madison, Wisconsin 53707-7885. 608-267-2206. 608-267-2208. Fax, 608-267-2808. hebe.state.wi.us. University of Wisconsin System. 1700 Van Hise Hall. 1220 Linden Drive. Madison, Wisconsin 53706. 608-262-2321. Fax, 263-2046. Wyoming. Department of Education. Hathaway Building. 2300 Capitol Avenue. 2nd FL. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82002-0050. 307-777-7673. 307-777-7763. Fax, 307-777-6234. The Community College Commission. 122 West 25th Street. Hirschler Building, 2W. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82002. 307-777-7763. k12.wy.us. Prepaid tuition plans by state. State college savings plans are basically state investment accounts, something like a mutual fund, the rate of return dependent on how well they pick their investments. One advantage they offer is tax deferments. Prepaid college savings plans are usually only for in-state public colleges. For some of these plans, your child must be below a minimum age like 12. Most state governments offer prepaid college tuition plans for your children where you contract to pay for a 4-year plan at a state college while they're young, therefore saving any amount that the tuition would have risen when they're ready to go to school. Check with your state Office of Higher Education for more information. Prepaid tuition plans could backfire if your child doesn't want to go to college or wants to go to school somewhere else. The big advantage is that you are locked into the tuition fees at the time when you start saving rather than the fees when the child goes to college. finaid.org/finaid/ptp.html number sign state_programs. College Savings Plan Network. 877-277-6496. collegesofangst.org. List of state plans. harvardmagazine.com/on-line/110163.html, college cash, tax-free savings for higher education. newyorksaves.org, New York's college savings program. savingforcollege.com. money.tnfx.com/college_savings_plans.html. collegesofangst.com, 800-888-2723, College Savings Bank, save money for kids' college. Fidelity.com, 800-544-1722, unique college savings plan. NewYorkSaves.com, 877-697-2837, New York College Savings Plan. INDEPENDENT529PLAN.org, created by a group of private colleges. Alabama. 800-252-7228. Alaska. 800-478-0003. Arizona. 800-888-2733. acp.asu.edu. Securities Management. 888-667-3239. California. 877-728-4338. scholarshair.com. Colorado. 800-448-2424. 800-478-5651. Connecticut. 888-799-2438. AboutChet.com. Delaware. 800-544-1655. 302-577-3240. Fidelity.com/Delaware. Florida. 800-552-4723. Illinois. 800-899-4722. 877-877-3724. Indiana. 888-814-6800. che.sdsde.in.us/ifcsb. Iowa. 888-446-6696. 888-672-9116. treasurer.state.ia.us. Kentucky. 800-338-0318. 800-928-8926. kysaves.com. Louisiana. 800-259-5626. Maine. 877-463-9843. famemaine.com. nextgenplan.com. Maryland. 888-463-4723. Massachusetts. 800-449-MEFA. 800-544-2776. Michigan. 800-638-4543. 800-MET4KID. Minnesota. 800-657-3866. Mississippi. 800-987-4450. 800-308-1997. Missouri. 888-414-6678. Montana. 800-888-2723. montana.collegesofangst.com. Nevada. 888-477-2667. 702-486-2025. New Hampshire. 800-544-1722. Fidelity.com/unique. New Jersey. 877-465-2378. 800-792-8670. New Mexico. 505-827-6226. New York. 877-697-2837. 518-474-9024. NewYorkSaves.org. North Carolina. 800-600-3453. Ohio. 800-233-6734. Oregon. 503-378-4329. Pennsylvania. 800-440-4000. Rhode Island. 877-474-4378. arihest.com. South Carolina. 888-772-4723. Tennessee. 888-486-2378. Texas. 800-445-4723. tgtp.org. Utah. 800-418-2551. Vermont. 800-642-3177. 800-637-5860. vsac.org. Virginia. 888-567-0540. Washington. 877-438-8848. 360-753-7828. West Virginia. 800-307-4701. 800-422-7498. Wisconsin. 800 Ed Vestui. 888-338-3789. American Territory Departments of Education. If you are going to school in a United States territory, you could contact the following about college and aid. American Samoa Community College. Board of Higher Education. P.O. Box 2609. Pago Pago, American Samoa, 96799-2609. 684-699-9155. American Samoa Government. Department of Education. P.O. Box DOE. Pago Pago, American Samoa, 96799. 684-633-5237. University of Guam. 303 University Drive. Manjalao, Guam, 96923. 671-734-4469. Northern Marianas College. P.O. Box 1250. Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands, 96950. 670-234-6128. Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands. State Board of Public Education. Public School System. P.O. Box 1370, CK. Saipan, Northern Mariana Islands, 96950. 670-322-6402. Council on Higher Education. Box 23305. UPR Station. Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico, 00931. 809-758-3350. Department of Education. P.O. Box 759. Hato Rey, Puerto Rico, 00919. 809-753-2200. Virgin Islands Joint Boards of Education. Charlotte Amalie, P.O. Box 11900. St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, 00801. 809-774-4546. Virgin Islands Department of Education. Office of Federal Programs. No. 44-46 Congans Gade, Charlotte Amalie. St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, 00802. 809-774-0100. Federated States of Micronesia. FM 1725 N Street, NW. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-223-4383. Republic of the Marshall Islands. RMI Scholarship Grant and Loan Board. P.O. Box 1436. 3 Lagoon Road. Majuro, Marshall Islands, 96960. 692-625-3108. Republic of Palau. Ministry of Education Bureau. P.O. Box 9. Koror, Republic of Palau, TT 96940. 680-488-1003.